Hey, I'm Brody Brazil, and welcome to Teal Town After Dark.
Brody, thanks. I mean, that's probably the most uplifting thing we've had going, except for like the first 30 seconds of this game. Am I right? Good evening, Sharks fans and Vegas fans who are celebrating on our YouTube chat right now. It is Monday night, March 18th, 2019. The San Jose Sharks couldn't get it done again. They lose 7-3 to the Vegas Golden Knights. I'm sorry, the Las Vegas Golden Knights, because that's where they're located, right? And welcome to this edition of Teal Town After Dark. We do this live each and every game, home and away, regular season, and how many ever playoff games there's going to be, but we do it here. And this is a live and interactive Sharks post game. So do yourself a favor. There are multiple ways to interact with us, chat with us, and fellow Sharks fans in the YouTube chat on the page or the app. You can also add us at Tealtown USA or hashtag us at Tealtown USA. But do yourself a favor. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Subscribe to our SoundCloud. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We want to thank the 1,251 subscribers who have subscribed to our YouTube channel. We appreciate it immensely tonight. And joining me, my tag team partner, Mr. AJ Strong.
To quote Joe Thornton tonight on the bench, fuck me. I mean, come on. 3 chances at home. God damn.
It's bad. It's really bad. And well, let's put it this way. There's a reason, folks, why the Sharks are fighting so hard to win the division. Tonight tells you why. So, with that, let's talk about this game, as the Sharks only need 1 point to clinch a playoff spot in this game. And, well, looked like they were going to get going right off the get-go. 30 seconds in, Logan Couture, his 25th of the season from Dylan and Nyquist at 30 seconds. Couture gets his 500th point. Congratulations to you, Logan. I'm sure you are, you rather have the victory. Congrats on 500 points.
Yeah. For that, I will say,
oh, good for you.
That's for sure. So a lot of people in the chat coming right now.
What was more impressive, Couture's goal or his assist 3 and 20 minutes later?
Oh, yeah, that's a tough one. And 3:37 in, and William Karlsson, because we have to make sure we know which one we're talking about here. William Karlsson on a breakaway, it gets past him. Couture tries to get it out of the way, goes right to Karlsson's stick, and he beats Martin Jones like a random mule. Marchessault and Smith with the assist there at 3:37. And you thought, all right, this is going to be one of those crazy shootout games between San Jose and Vegas again. And this one was tied at 1-1.
Well, something else we didn't talk about off the hop was, no Pavelski. First time Pavelski's missed a game in like forever. But conversely, Marc-Andre Fleury not in for Vegas. And I saw it pointed out, I think, by Drew Weber, when people are popping off about, that the Knights won 7-3. He's pointing out, look, the Sharks are missing a top forward and they're missing a top defenseman. I don't know if Drew's trying to use that as an excuse for this loss. I can't, because we were missing a top forward in Evander Kane and the top defenseman in Erik Karlsson, and the Sharks went on a 4-game win streak at home. So I'm not buying that argument.
Nope. And what are we going to say now that Radim Šimić has this much effect on the squad? I don't think so. I don't think so at all.
Maybe it's Joakim Ryan. I don't know. It's look, okay, so you get the Couture goal, you start off, you go, okay, cool, we're looking good start. Boys got some jump, remember Vegas played the night before, so you would hope that San Jose's got a little more jump. Hello, everybody.
Kayla came.
So, but then, yeah, that fluky friggin' goal for Wild Bill. I mean, it goes in off Couture's stick. Couture obviously trying to keep it away from Jones, ends up deflecting, goes right past him. I can't hang that one on Jones. That one is fluky as hell. That happens once every 5 years or something. Really fluky. I mean, just come on.
Speaking of Pavs, MLS fan 20 Nolan, thank you very much. Apparently, according to DeBoer, Pavs is going to be out a little bit longer than day to day.
Oh shit! I mean, really? I mean, Shimmick now Pavs. Like, can we just go into a playoff series? I mean, who last year? What it was Thornton, right? Wasn't it Thornton, or was that,
Thornton.
Or was that the year before?
Oh, pick which year you want for Thornton.
Oh, yeah, it was Thornton. Yeah, well, Thornton, because Botker hit the, yeah, okay. Oh, but last season it was like Thornton was taking warm-ups, like screwing with the other team. Yeah, okay, I remember. So yeah, there was that, and it was just, and then how many times would Hurdle get hurt in the playoffs? A couple seasons ago, like 2016. Hello, so can we not? Is what I'm saying. But like, if you looked at the trade deadline, a lot of people were talking about Nashville really winning the trade deadline. Some people looked at Vegas and said, yeah, they did a good, Stone will be a good acquisition or whatever. Dude, Vegas is like 9-0-1 or like 9-1. Either way, they have got a ridiculous record in the Stone Age. It's unbelievable. I mean, you talk about a fantastic, you talk about a fantastic acquisition. But anyway, Haley would interfere. Yeah, blah 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 blah.
Wait a minute. Let's talk about this here.
Oh Christ, here we go.
Where is how tall is Michael Haley? Is he?
I don't know, 5'10" on a good day.
Okay, so a guy that's,
I don't know. Are we counting the Mohawk or not?
Oh yeah, no, we're not counting the Mohawk. But a guy that's got 6 inches on Haley falls down incredibly easily.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, but that just, wow. And sure enough, that sets up Mark Stone's 32nd on the power play. Smith and Marchessault with the assist on that one at 5:48 gives Vegas the momentum, the lead, and that's what they use. They use those psychological factors to throw along with their intimidation, in my opinion.
Yeah, a little bit of that, but look, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna bullshit here. I can't sugarcoat this. The Vegas just straight up outplayed the Sharks, who were at home. They'd been home for a week, and Vegas is coming in after playing last night, and they're traveling. And I mean, like, all the factors are set up. Like, you can't set the table any better than this, Sharks. You're facing a team that's traveling. They played last night, and what happened? Almost throughout this entire game, Vegas held serve, and that's just, it's unacceptable. I don't care that Pavelski and Carlson is out. Like I said, you want to stretch of games with Carlson and Kane out. So I hear that excuse, and I just go, no, I'm not buying it. I mean, there were some times that the Sharks did look okay, but and we'll get to it. But I mean, the end of the first period, you get that power play for like the final, what is it, like a minute 8 or something like that. And they had all this sustained pressure and not a single friggin' shot on goal. It was just everybody looking for the cutesy thing. And even Hetty and Bakes were talking about saying, wow, the guys are doing exactly what they said they weren't going to do, because, they fall into these bad habits of wanting to show off at home. I don't know what that is. It's just mind-numbing. But anyway, we get back to LeBanc and Marsh both go off for unsportsmanlike conduct at 8:04. If you go back and look, that started earlier. LeBanc came in on a hit when Marchessault was near the net, and LeBanc came flying by and clipped him a little bit. And if you go back and watch, you'll see Marsh and I think might have been even Miller kind of taking LeBanc's number, but that's where all of that started. But anyway, they both go off, and yeah, I mean, what was the point when Oh, okay, that was about 5 minutes later. But anyway,
9:54, Jumbo with probably the most impressive goal I think I've ever seen from him.
It's pretty impressive when you score and you're not looking at the net.
Goes no look for his 16th of the year. AJ at 9:54. This game was tied up at 2-2. Jumbo's got a shot at 20 at the rate, and I believe Randy mentioned this later in the game tonight. But Jumbo 22 of the last 30 games with a point.
That's just sick. But granted, though, let's put that in context. He's playing on the third line. He's getting some mismatches there. So, yeah, if you're not facing, the upper echelon of competition, yeah, maybe you're going to put up a little more points than you're used to. But the fact that he was just like, he was just, I'm going to look over here and then over there and look, oh, it went in. No, that was, you got to give it up to Jumbo. That was just, man, that was one beautiful unassisted marker, I'll tell you.
Absolutely. Kudos to Jumbo. His 16th of the season there. Unfortunately, wouldn't last too long. At 12:24, Marchessault does it again to the Sharks. His 23rd from Riley Smith at 12:24. I thought that was a defensive breakdown by Braun, a little bit more than I thought Jones had an issue.
This was another one that I thought was rather fluky. You had Marsh coming in and Vlasic's behind him and like gets the stick in the lane, and that disrupted Marsh for a second, but Vlasic didn't follow through and try to get the puck. He thought, oh, okay, I've done enough. And then as soon as Vlasic backed off, Marsh turns around, reestablishes his position, and boom, fires it. Those first two, I'm not hanging on Jones. Fluky is all hell. But that third one, oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm hanging that one on Jones. I have to. And the fact that he got yanked after that, maybe it's part and parcel because of, again, I can't throw the first two on him, but I also believe that it was PDB saying, okay, we need to shake up this group. Let's, what other option do I have at this point? So we'll replace Jones, put in Dell. and that worked for a little bit.
Yeah. Kind of interesting how earlier today in his morning presser, he's essentially saying he's going to ride
play
Jones
until we can't do any better.
Yeah. And he's pulled after 12 minutes of this game. Then more of the shenaniganery continues. 15.
Nice callback.
You're welcome.
Nice callback.
15:23. Michael Haley goes to the box for roughing up Reeves after he's on the bench, mainly because Reeves makes a run at Melker Karlsson.
That was a cheap shot.
Was it a cheap shot? Because I saw numbers and I remember from junior hockey and stuff. And yes, I know junior hockey compared to NHL, no big, you can't compare it. But if you see numbers, you're supposed to be calling it. Refs didn't call it. They call this. It sets up another power play, and it gets a lot of the Haley haters going like crazy on Twitter tonight.
Of course. But yeah, I mean, that's Reeves' game. That's Reeves' games. There's a handful of douchebags in the league that do stuff like that. He just happens to be one of them. And you know what, though? But that, if you look, though, that a lot of times that plays to the success of that particular team. We've seen a number of douchebags be on successful teams because they get away with stuff like that. And, he drilled Melker. There was no need for that hit. I mean, Melker is clearly going off the ice. It was almost like a blindside hit, to be honest, if you go back and look at the video. Melker doesn't see that coming at all. He's, 2 feet from the boards. And at least if it was up against the glass, you could kind of say, well, okay, maybe. But the fact that he's that close to the bench and you still go for that hit, it's like, dude, there's no need for that. And I'm calling that both ways. If Kane does that to Marcia show or something like that, I'd be hanging it on Kane.
And if Kane gets a penalty for that, it's a dumb penalty.
Absolutely
a dumb penalty.
It reminds me of what was it? Remember that hit that like Nolan had on Jason Marshall?
Oh God, yeah. 2001 destroyed the Sharks' chances that year.
Yeah,
because Nolan gets suspended. I mean, of course, it takes the league like a whole week to decide it, and Nolan gets suspended like 13 games, and it ruins the Sharks' chances of winning a division that year.
But you know what I'm referring to. It's just It's a silly thing to do. It's not something that you need to do at that point of the game. But anyway, I digress. But the Sharks, they do end up getting a power play towards the once it all washed out.
Well, wait, we have another penalty at 17:08 because Hurdle decided to pass it back to defenseman. Burns was already coming on. Another one of those awful penalties that we saw earlier in the season. I remember you mentioning it, AJ. Hella dudes on a frozen pond, as our good friend Shalana Goldman would say, at 17:08. Sets up a 5-on-3. Thankfully, the PK showed up for that one, though. But then...
it was 16 seconds. What do you...
Yeah. And then Tuck takes a hooking call on Hurdle, and that sets up the power play that makes us all go insane.
Yeah, absolutely. I cannot believe how pass happy they were looking for. Let's just look for the shot. Look for this one shot. It's going to be there somewhere where it's, Malcolm Subban, decent, solid backup. Proved that tonight, but he doesn't have a stellar, he's not putting up stellar numbers. And it's a little mind-numbing when you look at the firepower on the Sharks, and this is the best that they can do. And this is the best that they've been able to do over the last 3 games, just 2-2-2. That's it, And what's funny is like 3 games ago, if you go back to the Florida game, you got Brody Brazil talking about this whole 2 or fewer, hashtag 2 or fewer. Since then, the Sharks, what do they score? 2 or fewer.
That's why you sometimes don't make those shirts, Brody.
Yeah, exactly. I know they potted 3 tonight, but still, you understand what I'm saying. That last one was a garbage time goal. Give me a break. I'm not going to, you can call it a teaser. It's not a teaser when it's that far out of hand. But anyway.
If they got in a 5-4, then we start teaser goals.
Yeah. But it was just all silly. But you think, you know what? You get to the dressing room. You try to chill the hell out. Because that was playoff hockey tonight for the most part. That was just hard playoff hockey. Problem is that Vegas is playing harder and faster, but that was just a heavy game tonight. And they come out in the second, and McNabb cross-checks Sorensen, and you're going, okay. Because this was just a penalty-filled game.
And they also missed another one on England on Sorensen too.
Oh yeah, and then Hurdle got a cross check that was gift out. There was missed stuff on both sides. I'm not going to try to defend that by any stretch of the imagination, but it's when it comes down to that, you have to take into account that look, you guys are coming into this game, you were 1 for your last 13. John, thank you for the $2 for the 2 or fewer. Wow, I should have said 20 or fewer. No, I'm kidding. But you look at that, it's just you're 1 for 13 coming into this. Let me look at my notes. I'm sorry, 1 for 17 coming in. Or at least at one point, it was 1 for 17 up until they did get that power play from Logan in the third. But I believe it was 1 for 13 coming into this game over the last 7 games after previously going 8 for 23 in the previous 7 games. So you're kind of going, dude, do what you need to do. 777 all that. Thank you very much, Laurel.
Laurel 777. We just need the slot machine
to but getting back to what I was saying, it's the power play has just been atrocious, and you're taking lazy penalties at 2 hella dudes, high sticking. if we go back and look at the Shark season this year, it would not surprise me if high sticking is the number one thing that they've gotten called for this year. And hella dudes would be probably top 3.
or puck over glass, and
yeah,
all
lazy stuff
served by Kevin LeBanc.
Yeah, lazy stuff. So anyway, you get that option, and then getting back to it, 326 high sticking, Kane high sticks Holden, right? More lazy penalties. But you have to take advantage of this. You have to try to draw penalties at 657. Holden high sticks Melker Carlson. And then the big one, 1046, Jumbo drills Theodore. Did Theodore dress this one up?
I give him 6.0 for artistic impression with the twirl to go with it.
Well, but if you go back and look at that, I mean, like just a quarter of a second after Jumbo tags him, another Shark, I couldn't catch who it was, does kind of clip him and spin him a little bit. Should Theodore have gotten 2 for embellishment? Yeah, because I mean, he didn't get spun that hard, and he went down in a heap. And it's like, if you go down that hard and that heavy or whatever, how do you not go in for concussion protocol?
Oh, he was out there for the beginning of the power play.
Yeah. So you're going to tell me that it's like, oh, it was that big of a hit and blah, blah, blah. Oh, but he doesn't have to go into the room? Really? Then, F out of here. Give me a break.
Well, and here it is again. And this is what I see. And of course, good shoulder body check. So hopefully this won't be a 2-game suspension.
Not at all.
But then I see this and I'm like, where's his feet there? And then he falls down.
And then he just totally loses his feet.
It's like, okay, seriously? I'm sorry. I thought this was 2019, the Vegas Golden Knights, not the 2011 Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah, no, he went down just a bit too easy for me. But that's gonna happen from time to time. And you hope that the officials catch it. If they don't, well, then you move on, and there you go. But either way,
it sets up a power play goal by Stastny, and I'm surprised only his 10th of the season on the power play from Pacioretty, and Miller makes it 4-2. That would be pretty much your summary for the second period. Shots by the second period, 30-22 in favor of Las Vegas there on that one. I mean, to me, it's these guys, the Sharks don't like to get hit. And when they try to hit back, they are a little too forceful, and it causes them to get their game off. And that's what Vegas was trying to accomplish. They did that completely this evening.
No, they totally got the Sharks off their game, but I still go back to the fact of the matter that Vegas was playing a heavier game, a faster game. They were winning battles. They were making the Sharks go one and done a lot of the time. And then when the Sharks would finally figure out a way to get some sustained pressure in Vegas's zone, they couldn't get the goddamn puck on net. It was a really maddening game. And I'm telling you, I can't put up with 4 straight games of this shit. If we see these guys in the playoffs, which right now is the most probable, and for the love of God, at this point now, Vegas is only 7 points back.
Exactly.
And we still have another game against these guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying, get it together. Now, granted, you got 2, I don't want to say cakewalks. Nothing is a cakewalk in the NHL, but you are facing 2 teams that are at the bottom of your division coming up this Thursday and Friday. Take care of your shit, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But let's please don't say one and done. Yeah, I know. But I do want to say, hey, to the 66 of you watching us right now, we very much appreciate it. Want to let you know real quickly, we go live after every single Sharks game. I think the button's down there. Last time I checked, it was down there. Sometimes they move it around, but the button should be right there that says subscribe. If you would do us a favor, if you haven't already, please click that button. hit the notification bell if you would. That'll let you know every time we're on the air. After every single Sharks game, we also have a weekly show that wraps up the week in Sharks hockey that goes out every Sunday night live, provided the Sharks aren't playing that Sunday. But other than that, yes, do us a favor, if you would, hit the subscribe button and follow us on our social media channels, be it Facebook, Teal Town USA there, also on Twitter, also on Instagram, SoundCloud, and of course, YouTube. That's where we're at. Everything on the website as well, tealtownusa.com. But thank you very much for supporting and joining us. So back to where we were. Let's get into the third period. Now, here's the thing. Going into the third period, the Sharks are down 4-2. And I am literally tweeting, doing a tweet for Teal Town USA that says, who's sick of losing at the tank 4-2 with a hand, raising your hand, and just before I can hit send, Smith on a 2-on-1 and it's 5-2, and I'm like, all right, screw this, I'm out.
Yeah, and I think I think a lot of fans were done with that one at the end there. But
it was horrible.
It was horrible and was rough, and it doesn't help that Vegas was starting their parade to the penalty box. Miller gets called for 2 penalties, one for holding Jumbo at 2:28, and thankfully Kevin LeBanc didn't run over Jumbo's hand there.
Well, not only that, but if you go back and look at that, Miller essentially, like, they both get locked. You can see that both of them are trying to go for a holding call. It's just, who are they going to call it on? Right. The funny thing, though, is if you go and look at it again, though, it almost looks like Miller is like helping a senior citizen lay down on the ice. Whoa, Jerry! Oh, Jerry my F. Lord!
$1 for every Sharks win the playoffs to get the cup. Let's do this.
Thank you very much. That is awesome. Thank you, Jerry. Yeah. So you get that, but anyway, the Sharks got a ton of power play chances tonight. They gave up a ton of power. I mean, the Knights get 6 opportunities. Of course, the difference being is the Knights cashed in on half of theirs. The Sharks only cashed in on one of theirs, and by the time they cashed in on theirs, this game was pretty much fait accompli. But 10:34, Meyer gets high sticked by Miller. Logan pots one in. At first, I still want to go back and make sure this didn't go off hurdle, but anyway.
Yep. So 10:34, Miller takes a high sticking penalty on Timo Meyer. 10:55, Logan Couture grips it and rips it home for his 26th goal. The power play does something. Thank God.
Whoa. Matt Dinan in the chat saying Pavelski with a possible MCL sprain. Are you friggin' kidding me at this point?
If that's the case, that is not good news.
Oh,
while I do that, can you check on that, AJ, really quick, just so we can make sure on that? Couture with a bomb from the point, his 26th on the season from Burns and LeBanc. LeBanc knows how to pass the puck. Thankfully, this one worked. Made it 5-3 Vegas. Sharks would be pouring some crazy stuff on net. Malcolm Subban, kudos to you, man. You had a decent night. There were times, though, that you looked bad and you made the Sharks feel bad because they could not get anything on there. 17:39, the Sharks would pull the goaltender, and Marchessault would put it in the net. His 24th, his second of the game. Schmidt in England, magically recovering from that thunderous hit that he took earlier in the game from Haley to make it 6-3. Things would get a little out of hand at 18:11. Goodrow would take a slashing call just to set up another power play goal for Cody Eakin, his 19th from Theodore and Schmidt to make it 7-3. Glad to see Theodore made it through and was okay. That made it 7-3, the final there. For the first time in franchise history, the Vegas Golden Knights scored 3 power play goals in a regular season game. They, like the Sharks, were 1 for forever before tonight on the power play. They went 3 for 6 tonight. And this is regular season and playoffs, the 5th time Martin Jones has been pulled in 12 outings against Las Vegas.
Yeah, that doesn't bode well, kids. And the really jacked up thing tonight is, if you were paying attention, Brent Burns has a better save percentage than both these guys tonight. Brent Burns making a play on that empty net to keep it out. But, oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. You know, I do want to call out another. I have to call out the elephant in the room tonight. I don't know if I'm the only one who noticed this tonight. Anybody who knows me knows that when it comes to Randy Hahn and Jamie Baker, I have the utmost respect for these guys. I love these guys. Hedekin? No, I'm kidding. But
Stop it.
I love
trying to get them on the show.
I know. I love our broadcast crew.
Absolutely.
But I gotta say, I have never heard them be so homer as they were tonight. And that's one of the things that those guys are known for, is and get praise from other fans of other teams, that when they hear Hahn or Baker and Hetty, when they do a national game, or if they happen to be watching our feed versus their own feed, when they hear those guys, they sit there, they usually get a lot of props for not being homers. Tonight was the most homer I have ever heard those guys. They at one point somebody was talking about running one of the Vegas guys. Hahn was saying something about he was kind of barking about the officiating. Then Baker said, it was going round and round tonight. I was dumbfounded. And then even when it went to intermission, I don't know how much of the intermissions that you watched, whether it was Twitter mission or on air, but I'll tell you, Curtis Brown in the second intermission, he got really homered. There was a lot of teal tinted glasses being worn tonight, which I was just shocked by. I've never heard that from the broadcast crew like I did tonight.
Maybe it's because they've seen the frustration in the number of these games that the Sharks and the Knights have dealt with. Remember, there was one time, I think it was in a March game last year, that I thought we were on the verge of Brett Hedekin hopping over the boards to scream at the official to borrow his glasses he had when he had pink eye, for crying out loud. Look, I'm sorry, and we look at the stats here. Vegas 3 for 6, the Sharks 1 for 5. Yeah, Vegas got 6 penalties. They came late, and what's the one thing that Vegas does very well is set the tone early. And yeah, the Sharks did get that goal 30 seconds into the game. That's great and all, wonderful, fabulous, good on you. But let's be real here. Once Reeves started throwing his body around, it took the Sharks out of their game. It got the Sharks to be in the penalty box. And my God, how many times has Zach Croft told you stay out of the penalty box? Listen to Zach, for crying out loud.
This is it's really jacked up that John Scott retired before the Vegas Golden Knights became a team. That's who we need. Actually, you know what? Scott Parker was the hero that we needed tonight. We needed the sheriff in town. Or even, you could go back to the days of Brian Marchment when people knew that son of a gun was on the ice. But to answer a quick question about Donskoy's ice time tonight, he got a whopping 10:47. Only 30 seconds more than Michael Haley. Now, we should also note that Michael Haley spent 5 minutes in the box tonight. So, what are you going to do? Or no, was it 5 minutes? Oh, no, he was only
4 minutes.
Oh, only 4?
4 minutes. In the crazy thing about that, you say Donskoy.
How the hell did Michael Haley get 8 seconds on the power play?
How's he doing
out there?
Maybe he was coming off the ice for that second one.
Dude, we're getting some good names in the chat. Brant Myers, yeah. Marty McSorley, the guy who mysteriously disappeared after game 2 of a playoff series. Todd Ewan.
Let's go, Jeff Odgers.
Yeah, that's where I was going. Jeff Odgers. To me, again,
Dodie Wood, Mr. Changeo, Dodie Wood.
I go Brian Marchment. I go, who was we had another defenseman that would kind of go everyone. A big son of a gun. Was that Sean Donovan? Who am I thinking of?
No, Sean Hines.
No, not Sean Hines. There was another guy. He was a
Andy Sutton.
Yes, that's the one.
Number 42.
Yes, I knew there was an S in there, and wasn't Sean Donovan also 42?
Yes, he was.
That's okay. That's why I was getting it confused.
Yep.
Okay. So really, you're gonna throw Ally Afraidy in there? That's good knowledge.
Rathje, as some used to call
What in the hell did Rathje ever throw? Give me a break.
People asking on Time on Ice. So you said Michael Haley 10-16 tonight. Jonas Donskoy 10-47. Joachim Ryan 10-41.
Dude, I gotta be honest. If I'm PDB with these next two games, I'm sitting Ryan's ass and I'm giving Middleton a try. I mean, honestly, if this is as well as you can trust Joachim Ryan, who, if you remember, was paired with Burns for the vast majority of last season, and has played himself out of a roster spot. If after all that experience, you still can't count on him for more than 10 minutes in a game, put Middleton in. At least Middleton's a much larger human, you know?
And maybe that comes into play for a team against Vegas. A team go up against
Link Gates. Well, how did we need think?
Wow.
I can't believe that didn't even pop into our head. Like, doesn't he lead the Sharks still to this day for like most penalty minutes?
He will forever and ever.
Yeah.
But I mean, getting back to Middleton, here's the thing. You got the big body. Use it. That's something that you could use against Calgary, like little guys like Gaudreau. And why can't I think of anybody's name all of a sudden?
Melker Carlson. I mean, he's not, necessarily a big guy. And the Twitter, the YouTube chat said, what's up with Donskoy 26 game goalless streak? Dude, don't you think if we knew, we'd be on the phone to PDB going, we figured it out? I don't know. And I've been saying this for a long time, is Donskoy clearly there's something missing with his game. To me, the solution, at least from my point of view, was put him down with Thornton. We've seen Thornton make guys like Nils Ekman and Jonathan Chichu and what have you, like, be goal scorers. If Donskoy fails to score with Joe frickin' Thornton feeding him and he's playing third line, not against the top guys, and Donskoy still can't score, yeah, there's probably a problem. And the other thing you take into account, this is probably Donskoy's last ride. He's FA after this season. I don't see him coming back. To you? Certainly not making a case for himself.
Well, let's put it this way.
Christopher is saying Thornton, Donskoy, Sorensen line could be nice. That's all I'm saying. I've been saying it forever.
One of the things that I was pointed out by one of our good friends on Twitter, Christina, is like it's the engagement curse, and he had 8 goals within the first 2 weeks after he got engaged. So what I'm thinking is, Jonas, if you're watching, repropose to Devin. That's all I'm saying. Let's just repropose to your fiance, and let's see if that mojo gets going. Because my God, dude, they showed the highlights of the game that they made a comeback against Vegas in Vegas on January 10th. That was the last time he scored a goal.
Yeah. And
26 games. That's making Christian Ehrhoff look good.
And the thing is, I can forgive a guy. I can forgive a guy if he's not scoring, if I see him doing all the things that you should be doing, getting the puck down, getting it deep, battling for it, fishing the puck out when need be. When the other guys need a change, you take the puck low, keep it down there so the other 4 guys can get off. Doing those little things. Also going back to the idea of the tertiary assist.
Yeah. And
he's not even involved at that point. Now, you can sit here and make all these arguments. Okay, well, Haley's a knuckle dragger. Well, Haley's doing what the Sharks want him to do.
Exactly.
He's performing to their expectations. Is the bar for Haley down here? Yeah. Is the bar for Donskoy up here? Yeah. It's like, is Haley hitting his ceiling? Yeah, but he's hitting the ceiling. The ceiling for Donskoy is up here, and he's at the Haley level. So, he's got to, it's got to be pretty jacked up when you get scratched in your own bobblehead night. That can't feel good. And let's be honest, Pavelski's healthy today. Donskoy's scratched. And it's not going to surprise me in the least little bit if Ryan and Donskoy are watching the LA and Anaheim games from the box while Radil and Middleton are getting play.
That'd be very interesting to see. And at this point, you know,
what's going on here now with Pavelski? Dug further into it. Two fans say ACL, MCL injury, no verified. Sharks beat writers responding or confirming with the fans. Let's wait until Thursday to see if Pavs goes with the team. Dude, there's going to be a practice tomorrow. Let's see if he shows up for practice, because that's the thing. Pavelski did not practice this morning, and he's usually one of the first guys out there working on tip drills.
Yeah, and just how that leg went in, if it is an MCL sprain, that did not look pretty. So,
and speaking of which, Shimmick posted on Instagram today that he had his surgery and he's recuperating, and hopefully all goes well and as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Rob, I'm saying I hope tomorrow's practice is a bag skate. A couple of things I saw earlier. Laurel saying every team has injuries, every team embellishes, every team had good and bad games, every team has a player or two or three that the fans hate on. The Sharks are not unique.
Who for the Sharks is that guy? Honestly.
For what?
But she's saying every team has one or two, three. I mean, honestly, Reeves is a bum. That's a guy that you can get behind and say that's a dirtbag piece of shit hockey player. You can kind of make that same argument for like a Dustin Brown. I mean, that's the whole thing is, yeah, there are certain teams that they have a dirtbag.
I think.
But who is it for the Sharks?
I think what she's trying to get at is that the Sharks fans are complaining about maybe Haley.
I don't know, but again, it goes back to the whole thing is, what's the identity of this team? Are they going to be like a run and gun team? And it's the whole idea of, look, our defense isn't going to be spectacular, which it clearly hasn't been this season. Team defense has been a shit show, but it's kind of like, oh, okay, we're going to be run and gun this year. So we're just going to straight up try to outscore you every single opportunity because we have all these offensive weapons on the front end. We got all these offensive weapons on the defensive side sitting at the blue line between, Burns and Carlson. To another extent, even Heed has had some decent looks. Vlasic and Braun are going to have, once or twice. Dylan's going to have once or twice. But you have all this offensive firepower. Well, then why are you playing guys like Haley even to another extent, Goodrow, when you've got players like Radil or Gambrell or other, guys that have a little more to offer offensively? What about Alexander True?
I mean, he's been on a Schneid for a bit now, but we were talking about Francis Perron, earlier in the year, like midway through the year.
He was another one. So I'm just saying, and dude, I got to be honest with you. I'm pretty underwhelmed by Nyquist so far.
No, I'm not one to ask that question.
Well, I mean, yeah, he got an assist tonight, but like the way it was sold, it was like, oh my God, this is going to be a piece that really solidifies. You know what it reminds me of, quite honestly? The Bodker signing. Like, this is going to be that missing piece that helps fill out the lines and make them all balanced. Jerry making a great point in the chat. Yannick Nyquist. Like
he's done a lot more than
he's done more than Hansen.
That's for damn sure.
But it hasn't been a whole lot. I'm just saying. 9
games, 3 goals, an assist for 4 points.
But that's that whole thing. Hold on, wait. How many goals did you say?
3 goals. So you had the empty netter.
I was going to say there's the key. One of them is an empty netter,
and he had that 2-goal game in Winnipeg too.
Yeah, so he had one good game. How long? How long has he been on the team?
In 9 games.
Yeah, 9 games. So you said one game he had 2 goals, right?
Yes.
And then the other game it was a goal, but it was an empty netter with like game was in hand and blah blah blah. So see, again, I go back to the thing of we need to come up with a spreadsheet that you rank. We got to go like 1 through 5, like meaningful. Rank this goal.
And that's where you flip it, where you see Marcus Sorensen, I believe, 11 of 16 have been lead changing goals, whether it tied the game, gave the team the lead.
Exactly.
Something like that.
That was the argument that I used to get into, where somebody would say, oh, Mahalik is so much better and blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, okay, so let's put this in context. Mahalik has 28 goals and Jeremy Roenick has 13 goals. Well, you sit there and you look at those numbers and go, well, absolutely, Mahalik's, that's a more key player.
Right.
Then you drill down into the context behind it and you figure, oh, well, those 28 goals, 7 of those were empty netters. Then you look, another 10 of them were scored when the Sharks were like leading by 3 or more goals. Like the game was pretty much set in stone. And I think it was and 4 of those goals from Mahalik were either game tires or game winners. Then you look at Roenick, he only had 14 goals.
And 11 of them.
11 of them were either game winners or game tires. Yeah. So it's there's a weight that you need to hand or a weight that a goal needs to carry.
Yeah, and Woolrat 33 saying this, and this might be a good point too, AJ. Maybe if they leave Nyquist on one line, he could get going, but he's been on a different line every game.
Yeah, no, and I couldn't agree with you more. What is it? And the other thing too, being that, does it work that you're putting a lefty out there with 2 other lefties in Kane and Hurdle? That's been one of my arguments why I think Donskoy has gotten as much time as he had, is just because he's a right-handed shot and the Sharks are sorely lacking in righties. You got Donskoy, you got Pavelski, you got LeBanc, you got Carlson. I mean, that's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the case, not that PDB's ever shied away from, lining up 3 lefties, but still, if you want to find that balance, just saying, I would love to see Nyquist find chemistry, rhythm with somebody. You give me Couture, Meyer, and Nyquist. Give me Kane, Hurdle, and Pavelski, or flip those. Doesn't matter on the end. And then Sorensen, Donskoy, and wait a minute, did I say Meyer? But either way, I would like to see Donskoy skate with Thornton and Sorensen for a couple games, just to see, does this work? And if it doesn't, like I said, you got Radil, you got Gambrell, you got again Alex True. And I'm still one of those guys that it's look, if you can only count on 10 minutes from Ryan, this is not the defenseman you're looking for. Go get Middleton.
The thing is, when Middleton was playing, did he I don't even think he cracked 5 minutes when he was up here the first time around, which is scary to think on that part. And I think it was either the last game or the Pucknologist where I think you said it. I don't think you go with a left or righty thingy anymore. I think you go with the better defenseman right now. And do you put Heat on the left side with Burns when EK65 gets back? If he gets back, I mean, yeah, he's practicing, but what do you do?
Yeah, the Shimmick thing has really thrown a monkey wrench into this whole thing, because it's that's literally seems to be the plug that you just don't have a backstop for. I don't know why that is. And I mean, just this entire season, and this is the whole thing. When you look at how piss poor team defense has been this season, you look that this has been, without a doubt, Vlasic's worst season in Teal. I don't even think that's up for debate. This has not been a great season for Braun. No. This has been a really good season for Brendan Dillon.
Dillon has shown that he has improved his skating, his defensive abilities. It helps that he was paired with EK65 for quite a bit too. But he's shown him that even when he wasn't here, he was stepping his game up.
But my point being is that there's a couple guys that have been horrible. I can't emphasize that again. Horrible. Vlasic and Braun, this has not been good. Jones and Dell have not had good seasons. It's guys like, Dillon, who to me has exceeded expectations. Burns has met or exceeded expectations. I mean, he could very easy. Unfortunately, he didn't get a point tonight, right? No, he did get an assist tonight. So he could be like the first guy in like 25 years to hit 70 assists. So, or first defenseman, I should say. So you've got, I mean, Burns having a Norris season, but then Thornton is thriving. You've got Pavelski, was a hair away from 40. We'll see what the hell once something is announced this week.
Yeah.
But Couture playing well. Hurdle becoming a friggin' monster since being moved to center in the new year. I mean, there are some guys that have exceeded. It's maddening to me when you look at guys like Ryan who have fallen off, Vlasic, Braun, the goaltenders, and yet they're still in second goddamn place in the Pacific.
Right.
Like they're still getting wins. They're still like, imagine if these guys weren't playing as poorly as they are. Give me 2016 Marc-Edouard Vlasic, please.
Yeah. You mentioned Burns with an assist tonight. That's his first point in 5 games. Burnsy's last goal was February 24th against Detroit when he had a goal and assist in the win over the Red Wings. So we're getting to the point where Burnsy's kind of losing steam here, and this is something we were concerned about. Yes, he's going for Norris, but right now those East Coast and Canadian riders who are going to be voting for the Norris, they're probably not even looking right now. And even though he's just dominating, it's not even going to get to that. So
Rob making a nice point too. I don't think there's any way in hell that it's going to happen, but Rob saying talking about giving Cornash a look. I think that idea went out the window about 20, 25 games ago. It wouldn't have surprised me if they would have at least tried it. I think if Jones and Dell had maybe gone like another stretch. See, that's the whole thing. It's like right at that point when you're thinking about making a phone call to the Barracuda, all of a sudden, Jones throws a shutout against Minnesota or something like that. You know what I mean? Like somebody throws up a good game. But and the weird thing is I'd heard some speculation about what about Bebo and Bebo, dude, Bebo's not going to get a call up because he's not going to clear waivers on the way down. Cornash will.
Right.
So that's your only option at this point.
Exactly. And honestly, there's no way when you're battling for a Pacific Division title and home ice in the first round that you're going to have a guy that's been in the AHL come in and play, unless
what I
Dell
say.
And Jones get hurt. There's no way Cornash is coming up.
Just bring up all the Barracuda. Those guys just put up 9 goals.
They've been on a schneid for forever in 3 days. So
yeah, they built it all up for St. Patty's Day. What did I see in there? PDB is writing Pavs and Burns too much. I don't disagree with that, but what are you going to do with Burns? I mean, what Burns 25, leading the defenseman tonight by 4 minutes. Burns 25-38, Vlasic at 20-39. But what are you going to put in their place? Especially, see, that's the other thing you have to take into account too. If the Sharks are up in this game 5-2 at one point, I mean, when did they go 5-2? When did we up 5-2? We're halfway through the no, it was
third period.
Beginning of the third period. Okay, so beginning of the third period, it's 5-2. I guarantee you, if that score was inverted and the Sharks were up 5-2, Burns' ass would have been stapled to the bench. Because that's the time that you take the opportunity when you've got a 3-goal lead to give Ryan more time, to give guys like Haley, maybe even Nyquist some more ice time to try to give him some more time to build up chemistry and get used to this system. The fact of the matter, Tim Heed getting 17 minutes of ice time to me is a little shocking, but I also compare it to the fact of who else are you going to roll? Everybody else was above him except for Ryan. And I still don't understand how Ryan has completely what the hell happened to this guy from last year? But then again, you could say that same thing about Vlasic and about Braun, but this one's in the books, kids. Vegas, we're gone. We're out. It's done. We head to SoCal. And if you can't get it done in SoCal, well, then my friends,
then we're in a heap of trouble.
Yeah, and pull the ripcord, hit the panic button.
And we'll be like full panic, like Steve Dangle and the rest of Leafs Nation at this point. So
Yeah, what the hell's going on with the Leafs?
holy crap, man! Losing.
Oh, and by the way, it's
Ottawa?
official.
Who would ever do that?
It's official. Tampa is not winning a Stanley Cup because they've won the President's Trophy.
So with
when's
that,
the last time that has happened? It doesn't happen very often.
is it?
Have the goddamn common courtesy to give him a reach around.
It's time for the NHL wrap around, and AJ just alluded to it.
Have the goddamn common courtesy to give him a reach around.
I'm going to keep playing it until you address
what?
the fact that it's called the reach around.
It's not, because I've never heard.
Let's put it to a vote in the chat, shall we? Is it the wraparound or reach around? Vote now.
Way
in the
to
chat,
do it
please.
now when Laurel's gone. That's terrific.
It's not my fault.
We have games in the NHL tonight. As AJ alluded to, the Tampa Bay Lightning have won the President's Trophy, the Atlantic Division, and the Eastern Conference regular season title, all in one fell swoop tonight. They beat the Desert Dogs 4-1. A 3-goal third period for the Lightning finishes off the Coyotes. Hedman, Sorelli, and Gord with the goals in the third period. Vasilevsky with the win. Desert Dogs don't move anywhere. They stand pat in the second wild card.
You're currently losing 9-1, by the way.
Oh my God.
Just saying.
You all are pervs.
10-1.
Canucks win in overtime 3-2 over the Blackhawks. A huge blow to the Blackhawks' chances for playoff one. Bo Horvat with the 25th goal of his season, 16 seconds into OT, the winner for Vancouver. In Los Angeles, the Jets win 3-2 over the Kings. Tyler Myers with the game-winning goal in that one. Hayes and Connor with the other goals for Winnipeg. The Sharks won 7-3, and that is your...
I'm sorry, what?
I'm sorry, the Sharks lost 7-3. Wishful thinking. Key games to watch tomorrow. Minnesota is at home at 5 p.m. against the Colorado Avalanche. If Minnesota loses in any fashion, the Sharks clinch a playoff spot. Calgary plays 6 p.m. tomorrow at home against Columbus. That is a huge game now, as they will play their game in hand on San Jose. So look out on that one. The Sharks are virtually close to clinching a playoff spot on that one.
We do have some post-game audio from Brent Burns. There you go.
Explaining how the PDB system works and how it just doesn't work
in
against
detail.
Vegas. Yeah. Very much so. So be on the lookout for that. The Sharks currently are 1 point out of a Pacific Division lead. Calgary has that still, and that's how they were able to clinch a playoff spot on Monday night. So, AJ, this is something that we've been waiting for a very, very long time. A back-to-back in SoCal.
Yay. And I had plans to go down for this, and I'm so bummed that those plans fell through. I was so bummed that these plans fell through, because I got to tell you, tickets for this game are really cheap.
Let's put it this way, folks. For $60, you can get a lower level seat at Staples Center.
Yeah, I was going to say 60. Where the hell of it? Yeah, but yeah, you're in Anaheim, not much better. Anaheim, it might be even easier, cheaper.
Yeah.
So either way, yeah, I'm bummed out about that. But hey, you know what that means? Just means we'll be here for After Dark. Okay. I was looking forward to doing like a quick check-in from both of those games. So
I believe Kevin Lacey is going to the one in Anaheim with
good for him.
With former Pucknology writer Drew Weber. So hopefully we might get a check-in from there.
Oh, look at that. Marty McFly, $120 for 4 tickets. two each night. I'm so pissed off.
And my Puck mom. Yeah. Sharks will clinch whenever, but the organization wants their playoff money by Friday. Yeah. Talk about an elephant in the room, dude. it's.
If you need to get it out, but you got 90
I will write.
seconds.
I will write a post for it, but I'll say this:
Sure, you will.
for a person to come up with at least $700 in 4 days for playoff tickets, gotta say that's a little tough. And I'm sorry.
What credit cards are for?
Well, not just that, but I mean, but to come up with that money, I mean, really? Where's that sounder? Really?
Really?
Thank you. I mean, or $1,400 for the full thing for 2 seats for the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, 2 games each. I mean, I'm sorry,
Really?
but really, exactly. So I'm sorry. As much as you want me to fix my AOL connection or anything, I'm supposed to come up with $700 or $1,400 in 96 hours. Sharks Org, you got to give me 2 weeks to put that together. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
what he said.
Thank you very much. Mic drop, done. All right, back to you, AJ. John Becker, if you're
Wait, what?
watching. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, exactly.
All
So
right, this is it. Time to wrap it up. Put a bow on it. Look, the Sharks have dropped 3 straight. After winning 4 straight at home, they've lost 3 straight at home. So time to figure it out, guys. Now, we're going to find out what the deal is with Pavelski. I'm sure there's going to be some bit, scotch, tiny bit of information handed out to us peons tomorrow at morning skate. We'll find out more information then. But, I mean, you talk about coming in like a lion and going out like a lamb for the month of March. I'm just saying, this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And if your top scorer is potentially out for the remainder of the season, I don't know. I don't want to speculate. I don't want to I hate when people do that and they, read too much into something or they make assumptions. I'm just saying Pavelski doesn't miss morning skate, kids. You know what he doesn't miss even more? A game. The fact that he did both of those things today should be troubling. So we will find out tomorrow at morning skate what the sitch is. But I'm this close from forget the power play drum. I'm about ready to hit the panic button, the opt out button, the golden parachute, whatever it is, man. It's not great.
it's not great. So hopefully they will turn it around Thursday in Los Angeles. But in case you missed anything or you want to watch this again, check us out on tealtownusa.com or your favorite podcatcher, whether it's iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and of course, smash that subscribe button to the YouTube channel. You're watching us from it right now. You might as well make sure you subscribe to us.
Yeah, man. There's like 44 people watching. We only got 8 thumbs up. Come on, man.
Come on now. I mean, for all means, we do this after every game. AJ, along with Rocket and Hockey Jerk, do Pucknologists. So check that out if you haven't done that already.
And we were actually told by one of our listeners that it was one of our best Pucknologists in a while, which either means we did a really good job or the previous few episodes sucked. You make the call.
And you can't blame me for that one, thank God.
Yeah, that's true. We got one more. It went from 8 to 12.
Ah, right. Good job.
Now, see how easy it was to hit that thumbs up? It's even easier to hit the subscribe button.
Right.
Help a brother out, please.
And to hit that bell.
Yeah, hit the bell. But the subscribe's more important.
Yes, absolutely.
So I am AJ_strong on Twitter, on Instagram, also doing a little gram here and there for Teal Town USA on the gram. Every once in a while, I get a wild hair up my cravat, if I can use a little French. And I'll write an article for Teal Town USA, and my latest is up there from a few weeks ago, where I basically destroy local media in their lack of Sharks coverage. And prior to that, I destroyed the Fanatics and their just lack of quality or consistency or anything remotely resembling anything worthwhile. So go. You want to be more upset? Go read one of those. But that's where you can find me. And a new Pucknologist will drop this Sunday because, hey, beginning of springtime this week. And as far as I know, the Sharks only play on Sunday one more time this season. So thank you, because holy hell, were there a lot of Sunday games this year.
Right? No kidding.
Just saying.
Appreciate everything you do, AJ. I am Puckeye14 on the Twitter and the Instagram. We'll be back with you following Sharks and Kings in Los Angeles. My goodness, can we clinch a playoff spot already? And definitely check out tealtownusa.com. Felix is working on another Growing the Game segment. He's looking for input, so make sure you follow us there as well. So until then, until Thursday night. Sorry. AJ,
Wait a minute, though. We just wanted to let you know. If the playoffs started tomorrow. No, I'm kidding. That's a Rocket segment. We're going to do that later. Just kidding. I just had to drop that in.
If the playoffs started tomorrow, we just play the team that we just played in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll save that for Rocket.
Right. So until Thursday night, keep it real. Keep it teal. Keep it real, Teal. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you then.
Hey, everybody. Drew Remenda here. You're listening to another podcast from Teal Town, USA.